So, simplifying rational expressions, 54x squared over 24x. I'm only going to write this once, but it turns out that both 54x squared and 24x are both divisible by 6x. So I could rewrite this as a 6x over 6x times 9x over 4. And again, I don't expect you to do that, but that's what this looks like. And the reason why we can reduce this is 6x over 6x divides to, don't say 0, divides to 1. And 1 times anything is itself. So when we say that these things cancel, it's not like they just disappear. It's not like they go to 0. They reduce to 1. And we just get that 9x divided by 4. In letter B, you can see it's already in factored form. The x minus 3's will reduce to 1. And we get 8x squared over 4, which reduces to 2x squared. Letter C, when people aren't careful, they do voodoo mathematics. They say, I'm going to cross off the x's, and I'm going to do 20 divided by 40 is a half. And 5 divided by 10 is a half. And I'm going to have an x squared in the denominator and all sorts of things. And it's super wrong, and it's inaccurate. If we want to reduce, we must first write in factored form. So what can you factor out of the top? 5. So we have a 5 times x minus 4. What do we factor out of the bottom? 10x. And we are left with x minus 4. Notice now in this situation that I have an x minus 4 over an x minus 4. That will reduce. 5 over 10x reduces to 1 over 2x. Please try letter D on your own. D on your own. Go ahead. Negative 3 halves? No, why not, Evie?
Because you can't just cross off the x's. They're both different.
Can't just cross those off. We have to do x plus 3 divided by x minus 2. When I write too fast, I'm recording. The 3's don't pick up very well. So trying to adjust my handwriting so it adjusts accordingly. All right, so we simplified. Let's move on to multiplying. When you multiply, you have the opportunity to what I call cross cancel. You can look ahead and see that 3 over 9 will reduce to 1/3. And 4x over 2x will reduce to 2 over 1. Now as we multiply, we get 2 over 3. Letter B, you look ahead and you can see that the x plus 2's will reduce to 1. 4 over 12 reduces to 1 over 3, so we have x minus 1 just over 3. What about letter C? What should you do first? Yep, we're going to factor that. We have an x plus 5 over 3x plus 1 times, I factor a 3 out of the top. I'm left with 3x plus 1. And I factor x plus 5 and x minus 5. The 3x plus 1's will cancel. The x plus 5's will reduce as well. I get 3 over x minus 5. Please try letter D on your own. Please try letter D on your own. This is Mr. Gantz. Aye. I know you're going to find this absolutely surprising, but it was a robot that was calling me. Can you believe a robot would call me? Viv, how's Ben doing?
Good.
Not you, Ben Schultz. There's more than one Ben in the world, in case you didn't know. There's Big Ben over in London.
There is.
Yeah.
This is little Ben.
X plus 3s are gone. X minus 2s are gone. We have x minus 1 over x plus 1. Okay, so a nice little review of factoring. Notice we covered the factoring lesson. There are some problems in your assignment that are a little bit more challenging in their factoring, but you're very intelligent. You'll have no problem handling those. So let's look at the next section. We need to divide, and then we need to add and subtract. I never divide fractions. What do I do instead? Yeah, so 2x over 3, and I multiply by 12 over 6x squared. Now I could take this and try to reduce. 12 over 3 reduces to 4 over 1. And 2x over 6x squared reduces to 1 over 3x. As I multiply, I get 4 over 3x. Wow. This handwriting thing is tough. Come on, let's try this again. 3x. There we go. We're not going to do letter B for the sake of time. We're going to move to the next page. Again, instead of dividing, I'll multiply by the reciprocal. I see some things that will factor. It's going to be to my best interest to just start factoring those. X plus 1 times x minus 1 over x plus 3. And I'm going to multiply by, notice the x squared minus 9 will come to the numerator. I have an x plus 3 times x minus 3. And that will all be over x plus 1. Notice that the x plus 1's reduce, the x plus 3's reduce, and I'm left with an x minus 1 times an x minus 3. Please try letter D on your own. Try letter D on your own. We should have x plus 3 over 3 times x plus 4. Are there any questions about our dividing or multiplying process? Going once, twice, 3 times. Then we move to this section, number 4, add or subtract. This is our final section. In order to add or subtract rational expressions, what do you have to have? Common denominators. And so the common denominator will be 6. I'll multiply the top and bottom by 2. Please make sure that you're distributing the 2 through to both pieces. I have a 6x minus 10 plus 8x minus 1. That all sits over my new denominator, which is 6. Combine my like terms. 6x and 8x make 14x. Negative 10 and negative 1 make negative 11. That all sits over 6. If it would factor and possibly reduce, you could do that, but it doesn't. In letter B, notice that the denominators are the same. I don't need to do anything. I can write this as 1 fraction, 2x minus 3 over x plus 4. Well, let's look at problems where it changes up. I have letter C. Notice that the denominators are x and x minus 1. So if this is a minus 1, I can just subtract 1 from each of the denominators, right? Absolutely not. No. People do this on the test. I get angry with it, okay? We've never been able to do that. You've got to convince yourself otherwise. That is complete voodoo mathematics. It makes absolutely no sense. For example, if you had 5 over 7 and you're going to add that to 1 over 6, would you just say, oh, well, we'll just add 1 to the top and the bottom to make our common denominators? You would never do that, would you? You wouldn't do that. So we're not going to do it here. In fact, we're going to multiply the top by x and the bottom by x. And over here, we're going to multiply by x minus 1 and x minus 1. Two x times x is 2x squared. Distribute the 3, I have a 3x minus 3. And in the denominator, I'm going to write it as x times x minus 1. Now, the denominator, yes, you could write it as x squared minus x. You are not required to do so. I prefer to leave the denominator in factored form. That way I could see if something would cancel otherwise. Okay? Could see if something would cancel otherwise. So for our last problem for the day, you guys get a decent amount of time to work. It's actually nice being the last hour of the day. We tend to be a little bit more efficient with the lesson. So you guys usually end up with most time to work. Third hour today, they only have about 5 minutes because they also had the fire drill that came on their way. See what I'm saying? So you guys should have a little bit more time. But as you look at problem D, if we followed what we did here, we would want to multiply the top and bottom by x squared minus 4 over x squared minus 4. But that's not the right choice, is it? What do we multiply the top and bottom by if we don't multiply by x squared minus 4?
X minus 2.
Yeah, because as you glance here, you notice that the x squared minus 4, it does factor. And so if you take the opportunity to factor a denominator right away, 5 over x plus 2 times x minus 2 minus 6 over x plus 2, you can now see in this scenario that it is only missing the x minus 2. So I'll multiply top by x minus 2 and the bottom by an x minus 2. Now we could go to work. The denominator is the same. For the top, I have 5. I multiply a positive 6 or a negative 6. Negative 6, I get a negative 6x. Negative 6 times negative 2 is positive 12. Divided by x plus 2 times x minus 2. I can combine like terms together, which will be the 5 and the 12. I get a 17 minus 6x all over x plus 2. Wow, man. So one thing I am wondering about with my Chromebox is this device right here. Every time I save a video, it takes up storage. So I'm wondering if I have to delete some of my videos to help with the speed that it's operating. I think that that's my issue. So anyway, yeah, that's fine. Just getting used to the devices that have changed. So there we go. So for your assignment today, as you look at your homework, again, which is all here for you, you are going to be working on section 1.4, rational expressions. You have some problems on the front and on the back. So we'll test some of your factoring skills, okay? But when you get to the next page, the complex fractions, that's what we're going to be working on tomorrow. Today is a very straightforward review day. The complex fractions, that is a little bit more complicated. We're going to have to really lean in and focus tomorrow. So that said, you have a great 25 minutes right now to be able to work through what you need to work through. I'm going to stop my recording and upload it and delete some stuff, but I'm here to answer questions and help you get any help that you need.